as well in advance. We're usually, 2-3 weeks in advance on any of the publication material where we're going for advance sheets.
Well, I know we do the, the points and authorities.
Right.
And about how long do you have to put in to do the points and authorities?
Points and authorities, we're kind of limited. It's a half-hour show, and we put in as many cases, cram into that half hour as we can. The preparation is the problem, because the preparation means you've got to have access to one of the publication services, or you take them out of the advance sheets yourself. This being a pretty active office, we've got a good lock on good talent. Problem is that a lot of the good talent is doing their next case at the time. They don't want to go back and go over old cases. But I think from the standpoint of the people watching it, it's always helpful to find somebody who is an outsider, at least not me, not you, but has had a case and can lay out the case and has got the time to do it. I don't want to crimp anybody's trial schedule, but we've had everybody from Sarah Horn through McKinstry when he was around were doing these things, and it does strengthen it.
What's got me a little bit worried is, there's so much to talk about in the half hour, and I've been looking around the studio, and I don't see the teleprompter.
Oh, well, the basic reason for that is we don't have one. Usually they used to write it out on 3x5 cards for me, so I knew what the cases were about, but that got kind of messed. Remember the earthquake? We lost that whole system.
So no teleprompter?
No teleprompter, no. They will give you some signs from time to time. They're the signs that do. Write the thing down and then move it up and speed it up and slow it down. What Art does on that is he's got a Mickey Mouse glove that we can't get separated from him, and he sort of does mime with it. And it seems a little, I know it's challenging now, but you'll get used to it. But this particular operation in Tom's structure could justify itself without doing the points and authorities, because we're doing a whole lot of processing tapes. These guys work routinely with the grand jury on the narcotic sales. They work with other police departments. They've done their fair share of scrambling under buildings and finding corpses. The video operation, really, well, it's probably the best known part of it. The work is being done by Art and Vicki on a regular basis, despite what we're doing. I just kind of find a way to wiggle in from time to time, and they'll cut me an option, so I've got a half hour to do this, and we'll do that. The fact is that the Commission on Post, Peace Officer Standards and Training, has an outstanding continuing monthly series where they put up programs on a variety of subjects.
This is a separate set of taping that we got to do?
Yeah, we would tape it separately, and then we submit them to the Post Committee to take a look at it, and if they like it, they beam it up on satellite. Now, this is basically where we get our funding and our support, because we have a contract with them to produce X number of programs, well, actually 36 programs per year, about that. And they pay us a certain preset fee for that.
So who gets to see all those videos?
They all go out by satellite. We submit it in Golden West College down in Southern California does programs. They also generate programs of their own, and they've had programs from out-of-state agencies. Post does a remarkable training job. It's, again, one of these things when I go traveling is unique because most people don't have it. So we work with them, and at some point you'll be working with some of their producers and their directors on ideas and concepts. So
anything else? I know you do some of the MCLE stuff.
Well, the MCLE is we got into that because, again, as our office, as you know, you've probably been out in every branch once or twice anyway. We have people all over the county, and the idea was to take over what had been the Monday night meeting and basically put it on tape and send it out, so if the boss wanted to communicate something to people, if we had some new people to introduce, if there's been a change in something that affects everybody, we put that on a tape. So it's sort of an internal training program. Now, MCLE came along, it's fairly recent. We've been at this for quite a few years.
Well, when did we start?
Only about 10, 12 years ago.
We get credits, the MCLE credits for the points and authorities.
Yeah, we do. And the reason is that our programs are certified by MCLE, which is a process of looking at what we offer, because we send them the tapes, they can look at, we send them copies of the materials. You remember when Judge Burr used to run the Saturday morning sessions here in the courthouse? His stuff was packaged up. And basically we impress the bar with the fact that we are coming out with a lot of good material. Now the bulk of that material, as was the case with Burr's stuff, we were not putting on tape because we wanted to get people together to go to the classes to talk about them rather than pick up a tape on the way out the door and never get around to watching it. That still is a program that is probably overdue for some innovation, taking a look at what people want, finding some way of getting it across to them. But the MCLE is imposed by the state bar, as you know. It's not our idea. But if you don't meet a certain number of points every year, you don't get to practice law in this state. You asked me earlier about who else sees this. The Points and Authorities goes to, I think, 8 other DA's offices. And they seem to like it, so it's been helpful to us. It also is helpful, of course, in liaison, going back and forth with them. Well, computer crimes require, investigators. We've got guys like Al Salerno. We've got people out in consumer fraud that are qualified instructors in this and are doing these kind of cases routinely. I just got into it because I was in the office when the case exploded, and somebody had to take the case, and I'd never done one of these. Nobody else had, so what the hell? And it worked. It was kind of a lucky shot, I guess. But the same thing will happen here. Something will come along that has not been done before, and one of the strengths of Tom's office in keeping the kind of innovation and the, I think, idealism that this whole office has always had, is that we don't back down on things. We'll check it out. We'll take a look at it. If there's a crime, we do something about crimes. It's not a personal ego thing. It simply is somebody's got to handle these guys, and that's us.
So now do you get all these questions from police officers regarding computer crimes?
Yeah, I do training for the Department of Justice on it. I've done training, I set up the training course for the Secret Service back in D.C. on this stuff quite a few years ago.
Do you do any teaching as well outside of for teaching police officers? Or?
Yeah, I do the conference circuit, and there are always people talking about something. And here in California, we are the basis of the National Institute of Justice, which is federal funding, a thing called the Search Group. They're up in Sacramento, but I've worked with them over the years. So you're not going to be limited by what my particular hang-ups are. What this job really gives you, and we never tell the boss, is that it gives you terrific access to people out throughout the state that are doing stuff that's interesting. This job creates an awful lot of opportunity to see what you want to do, and the management, as far as I'm concerned, couldn't be better. They let us do this. We don't have to go up and justify everything we're doing. And as long as you can keep that doing, this job is worth doing.
So
I think you'll enjoy it.
If I have questions about things, it'd be okay to give you a call?
Sure, I won't be listed, and you may have some trouble getting it through, but no, I'm just on the other side of the estuary here, so that's not a problem. I'll probably be around. Well, they're not going to let me leave until I get the office cleaned out, so it's going to be at least a couple of weeks.
Okay, so you'll maybe
I'll be here
around
anytime.
to help out if.
Here for you, just like friends, this kind of, I'll be there for you stuff.
Okay, well that's great to know.
Well, I couldn't
thank
ask for
you.
anybody I would rather have taking this over.
No, I
The
appreciate
only
the
problem we've
words
got
of
right now is
confidence
working out something so you can reuse the lectern, but we'll take care of that. Because we got some jets and propulsion, we can work out something.
Yeah, we've got to maybe readjust the size of the studio down a little bit.
That's a good idea, or find another place to put a studio, which might be even better. But we're working on that. Always something going on.
Okay, well, thank you.
Good, thank you. Glad you're taking over. I'll move down from the deck now so we can do it in a nautical fashion.